Very good morning, one and all present here. At the outset, I must appreciate and congratulate the Department of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology on their achievement of hat-trick in this Zoom platform. Yes, it is their third web conference or webinar in this platform. And we have announced schedule for different departments. The Department of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology is very clever enough to find out the gap between the programs, and really they help us to fill the gap. For that, I thank Dr. Siti Babu sir, HOD of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology. I also thank Dr. Shankaran sir for arranging this particular webinar, which is need of the hour. And again, I congratulate and appreciate all the staff members, faculty members present in the Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology department. With these few words, I invite Dr. C.V. Siti Babu sir, HOD of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology, to deliver the welcome address. Please, sir.
Good morning to one and all present here. The web seminar on understanding online learning has been organized by Department of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology with a view on understanding the digital platform to have effective teaching and learning system. With this note, with due respect to our principal, who has agreed to come and join us if possible because of his heavy or preoccupied administrative work, he could not join. He has sent us the greetings and wishes for successful conduction of the seminar. So I thank our principal. So respected principal, chief guest, the distinguished resource person, Dr. Wavesu, he is shortly called Wavesu, affectionately Wavesu, we call him. Professor Wavesu, my dear IQAC coordinator, Dr. Abdul Rahim, the organizing secretary, Dr. B. Shankaran, my dear department colleagues, my dear HODs of our own college, the colleagues of our own college, and colleagues of other colleges, teachers of various schools across the country, professors, researchers, students from India and abroad. A happy morning to one and all again. This webinar is a timely one, as Dr. Rahim said, because everyone is having webinar everywhere. This pandemic has resulted in epidemic of webinars, I should say. No day passes without webinar. Everywhere webinar is going on. But are we making use of this online learning, digital learning, or this digital platform? That is of great concern. So, understanding online learning is the title given by Professor V.V. Subramaniam, the educationist, who can be fondly called DNA professor, because he is a distinguished novel academician, Professor Wavesu. So DNA Professor Wavesu has done his PhD in algal biotechnology after MSc MPhil in plant science, learned classical music and musicology from Vidwan Madurai G.S. Mani, He was former principal and head of plant biology and plant biotechnology, Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda College, Chennai. He was the former director of FICO Spectrum Consultants Private Limited, FICO Spectrum Environmental Research Center, managing editor, Journal of Algal Biomass Utilization, President, Vanaville Cultural Center, President, Prabanjam Trust, Executive Member, Bharati Kalai Kalagam. So his positions keep on increasing. The list continues. He has visited US, South America, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, and other countries as consultant for various industries. He is an excellent teacher who has served for more than 3 decades, 35 years, with 30 years of research experience, publishing 37 papers of national and international capacity. As a research guide, he has produced 4 PhDs and conducted more than 15 seminars of international and national category. He is an acclaimed corporate trainer in power communication and personal skill for professional development. He is a master of training the trainers program for various academic institutions. www.tamilvalattasandror.com is a serial talk show conducted by Dr. or DNA Professor Vavesu through Krishna Gana Sabha. Toda Muyandra Toduvanam, Kalappai Mudal Kanini Vare, Tamilar Mugangal, Unakendru Uru Sigaram, Ilanjarikana Uru Urchaganul. All these are a few examples of his Tamil caliber or Tamil literature skills. He has written so many books and awards. One include Kavi Mamani, Tirupugal Mamani, Bharati Ilakkiya Silver, Bharati Sevai Semmal, Padaipulaga Sirpi, Nallor Virudu, Kivaja Virudu, Maposi Virudu, Munaivar Muva Tamilaringer Virudu, Bharati Virudu Kavichelvam continues. Dear friends, dear participants, here is a resource person with whom you can learn a lot. He is a rare combination of humanist, scientist, academician, a blend of all these things. His love to student community has always been pervading in our society. That is the reason we love him. We are all his students. Most of the audience also will be his students, I know. Those who have joined because of his affection he has or the vibe he has with the students. His skills in teaching, modern teaching also, has made us to invite him. Besides its schedule, he has a tight schedule. He could not come all of a sudden, but however, I pressurized him to deliver a lecture at least for 1 hour. So the web seminar on understanding online learning will be very interesting. You will be knowing why should we learn this online learning technology. Is online technology, learning technology, useful to all? Will it replace the traditional technology? Is a big enigma. We are all in the transition stage. We know that online learning is a must and it has come to a stay. It has been in existence in various forms. Now it has pervaded everywhere. It has also come to education department. But the only thing is whether it will be made use of by all. That is the question. That is why Professor Wabe Su, the hybrid between humanity and science, is going to deliver the web seminar on understanding online learning. A small anecdote. I am recollecting a small anecdote. 4 students once were waiting outside a classroom for the university exam. And the 4 students were not allowed because they did not bring a record notebook with authentication, bona fide. Bona fide was not given by the HOD. So they were all not allowed for the exam. Suddenly, a person like a bolt from blue comes there and looks into the 4 students standing outside the classroom and asking the reason for their not allowed, they are not being allowed. Then the students are telling because of HOD's non-availability or could not meet, they could not get the bona fide, so they are not allowed. Then the professor says, these are all our students. Why should they stand out? If the record is not there, okay, let them write and get the score given for other subjects, other questions or answers or their skills. And there was immediately said, I will bona fide that they are all our students. You allow them. He has taken an edge and then told, being a senior. Then these 4 students could get their final year, do the final year exam and get the degree. And they are all now in good position. One is in USA as scientist, another in Calicut University as professor, third one is the IPS officer, and 4th one is myself. And the professor was none other than Professor Wabe Su, the DNA Wabe Su. Why I am narrating this story means, he may not remember, but all of us used to recollect this because this was his love to students. So he has been excellently doing service to the student community, and also among the professors, he is called the best professor among the professor by the professors. So such a good orator, articulated speech you are going to listen. My dear participants, you are all lucky today to listen to him. What we have enjoyed during our days as students, we enjoyed his lecture, and he is a versatile person, multifaceted person. He is a classical musician. He knows to sing, but this is not the platform to sing, I know. But because we used to travel with him when we were students, we enjoyed his leadership, guidance, and affection. So with these few words, I now request DNA Professor Wabe Su, distinguished novel academician, Professor Wabe Su, to take the stage and deliver his lecture. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Will you start?
Yes, sir.
Audio level is okay. Good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir.
Yeah. Very good morning to all of you. You've all assembled in large numbers. Before starting the lecture, I need to thank the organizers, and more importantly, I must thank the principal of the college, the departments, and to start with, the main thanks goes to Dr. Abdul Rahim, who is now looking after the IQAC and who is taking care about the technical aspect and support of this seminar, which is a demanding job. And next, my thanks goes to how can I say, the thanks or the head of the department, Dr. C.V. Chitti Babu, who is the convener, who spoke so much about me. I really appreciate and enjoy. I have also become nostalgic. It's wonderful if I have become, if students, it's students who make a teacher a good teacher. Let me put it straight. If at all I have been a good teacher, it's because of students like Chitti Babu or another student here sitting, Sankaran, and maybe in the audience I have my students, Dr. Muthukumaran and Dr. Ranjit. These are all students who made it possible for me to be doing what I have been. So I'm quite happy about it. And I used to always wonder whether wherever I go, the question I ask whether should I speak in Tamil or in English. And this is an occasion where when I saw the cross section of the audience, and we have how many about there is 101 participants are already here, and if I go to the grid view, I can see many of you, and most of them know Tamil, but in spite of that, very few people are also outside from the country and also from other states. So I'll stick to English, but you can ask questions in Tamil if you want through the chat. At the end of the program, we'll try to go in for a question answer session, which can be in any language, which is possible for you. And wherever it is important, I may give you some Tamil explanation also. It doesn't matter. What is important is today I tell you another important concept. We have no restriction of language anymore. In this computer age, it is not the language that is going to be important. It is the understanding of a subject that is more important. Don't try to worry about what will I call, what is the meaning of www. Can I Tamilize this? What is how you spell it in Tamil? Or how do you say a computer in Tamil? Don't worry about it. Say computer, okay, fine. So whatever comes to your mind, easy language. But what is important is to acquire the knowledge, to acquire the skill, to acquire the talent. And that is the role of the day. And that's about what I'm going to speak today. So my another big advantage today is I have been always a person who used to like Presidency College, Manila Kalluri, one of the premier institutions in our Tamil Nadu, which is near the Marina Beach. And it's a beautiful college. I have visited. I am this morning, I'm extremely glad I've been invited by this organization and the college and my own department, Department of Plant Biology and Biotechnology. And thank all of you once again. And all participants, just be relaxed. Just relax. I'm not going to rush through any kind of large ideas and push through a lot of informations. Don't worry about it. We'll go slow. We'll go one by one. And whatever that you can comfortably learn out of this, whatever you can understand out of this, you can absorb that. And if you have any doubt, you can simply send it through the chat. Through the chat box, you write your questions. Okay? Shall we start now? Thanks once again for all of you this morning. The first slide. The first slide, the title is Understanding Online Learning. Now, these three words, how many words are there? Three words are there. Understanding online learning. Now, the most important thing is these three words they are having a similarity in its action, in its dynamic principle. That is, understanding is a continuous process. Online is a continuous process. Learning is also a continuous process. So, this understanding must be always there. Whether you are preparing for your exam or preparing for your interview, preparing for your work, or you are already employed, you are enriching your knowledge, the understanding part is always there. And this online learning is also become a continuous process today. Another thing I want to tell you is, once upon a time, the online learning was an option for you. Well, you want to take online. Many of my own students have taken online learning. They have done some courses. For example, mostly the students go for online learning in terms of reducing their stress for going and applying for colleges where they have to be physically present, or some people are already employed, they don't find time, so they go for that. So many of my students have taken it, especially MBA, courses like MBA, courses like language courses, and courses on computers. Even during my college days, many of the staff members used to update their knowledge by going for online learning. So this online learning has been there for quite some time. But today, the online learning has become not an option, but a necessity. Please underline this particular point. I would also expect the participants, if you find any of these points are very important, please note it down, because I am not going to show all these things in the slide. My slides are not going to be cluttered. My slides will be having simple ideas, that's all. The explanation I'm going to give, so that if you are interested to follow that, you can also note down. So this particular thing, what is the sum and substance of the first slide? The title slide. The title slide informs you that two things. Understanding online learning is a continuous process, and it is not anymore an option, but it is a necessity. Okay, let me repeat. Understanding online learning is not an option which you can postpone or anything. Today, like Dr. Chittibabu said, we are in a transition period. He very nicely he has placed it. I appreciate it. We are in a transition period where we have to move forward. If you have to go on educating yourself and be useful to your own self, you have to go for online learning. So it is not an option and necessity. Let's go for the next slide. Abdul sir, we'll go for the next slide. And in the next slide, we shall see the wonderful quotation of Alvin Toffler. I hope most of you know Alvin Toffler. படிச்சிருக்கீங்களா ஆல்வின் டாஃப்லர்? நீங்க படிச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா chat boxல கூட எழுதலாம். என்னுடைய எல்லா ஸ்லைடுக்குமே வந்து you can react. You can just react telling yes sir, we can do like this. So the chat can be improved. It is one way of keeping yourself with a sort of an interactive mode when the lecture is going on. So the first question is, you can also write back. Alvin Toffler has written a very good book, a very fantastic popular book. That book has been made into a movie. If you are able to write it, if somebody can write the name of the book, it's fine. You can send it through the chat. I'm not going to say that. Now the point here is, you are able to see dripping water from a pipe, and there is a brain down. We'll come to that later. Let me read the quotation from Alvin Toffler, who was a great American scientist and writer, and he is also a businessman. And he was involved in theater, and many books he has written also. And his quotation, I'll read, please follow. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. You understand this? What a nice way of putting it. Who are you calling as illiterate? Tamil Nadu படிப்பறிவு இல்லாதவர்கள் அல்லது illiterate என்று யாரை சொல்றீங்கன்னா யாருக்கெல்லாம் கையெழுத்து போட தெரியாது. The Tamil Nadu says those who are not able to sign their own name are known as illiterates. If you are able to sign your name, you become a literate. That is what is you become a literate person. Like that, in every country you can talk. In the dictionary word, if you are going to be called who is a literate and illiterate, they will give a different meaning. But our future writer, futuristic aspects, the writer with the futuristic look and aspect, Alvin Toffler, he writes, it is those who can learn, unlearn, and relearn, they are going to be called as literates. யாருக்கு அறிவு இருக்கிறது? அறிவு இருப்பவன் is a person who is able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now let us analyze this word. What is learn, unlearn, and relearn? If you understand in today's context, you will find that in olden times we used to wash our hands and wash our feet. Only then we enter our house. And our own custom in the earlier days, not to shake hands with everybody. We used to do only vanakkam. Okay, that's what we have learned, and we have unlearned it. Over the period of last 60 years, we forgot about it, and today we are relearning it. Because of the pandemic, we are relearning to wash our hand all the time and every time. And this is one jovial example of the present pandemic. But what is the true meaning is, whenever you learn something, for example, a child learns, when you say apple, the child reads it A-P-P-L-E, apple. Are you going to read every time like that? You go. You are forgetting the letters and you remember the word. Understand? The first step is like a child forgetting the letters. When you read apple, you are not actually remembering A-P-P-L-E anymore. You read it as a word, apple. And the next step is, when you become older, he is having an apple. It's a sentence. You are not worried about simple words, but you understand the meaning of the sentence. So you forget the letters, you understand the word. You understand the sentence, you forget the words. And the next step is, he is having an apple. Then your idea says, what is happening there? Oh, that fellow is having apple. He is not giving me an apple. All these ideas and come and you become, your experience shows what is the meaning of all this. So you grow from one to that. I'll tell you, we had one principal, my own professor, Professor G. Venkatraman, who was our head of the department of botany. Also, he was the principal of Vivekananda College when I was studying. And he used to say a very wonderful quotation, which I don't forget even till today. It suits very much the idea of this slide. He used to say, a judicious forgetting is true learning. Let me repeat. If you want, you can write it also. People, you can note it. A judicious forgetting is true learning. Okay? That means you should know what to forget. It is not like, forget everything what you read and go to the next one. You see, I used to ask my students about a particular, say, for example, second MSc. I used to ask them, what do you say, why don't you talk something about algae? They say, sir, we finished it in first semester. And this semester, we don't know. So first semester, what they read, they forget and come to next semester. That's not the way forgetting. You see, your acquired knowledge should be there as the base for a pyramid of understanding. Your knowledge is always in a pyramidal structure. Your base, sides, and the top. So you have to judiciously forget certain things and go beyond. And today, in the 21st century, the things are happening in such a fast mode that you have to keep on. Otherwise, you can't. See, in the computer language, what about the hard disk? For example, in your computer, we talk about the hard disk. And if you want to have more space, you have to format it or you have to delete something. So in the same manner, don't have a cluttered brain, have clear ideas, and that's what he says. And that is what is the meaning of that particular diagram. I mean, the picture shows your water drop comes on the brain, and so can we call it as a brainwash? No. In English, brainwashing means a different thing altogether. Here we are trying to wash in the sense you learn, unlearn, and relearn. What a beautiful idea. Within the given time, so short as on that. You can develop this idea. Please get back home and try to think what you can learn, what you can unlearn and relearn. We'll go to the next slide, sir. And this is a continuous process where we are talking about in learning practice. And in the slide you are seeing at the bottom of the slide, you find teacher is having a regular blackboard or green board, I think, and he is writing with a chalk piece. And above there is a teacher who is showing, surprisingly, is a DNA. Chittibabu said, I am a DNA professor, and DNA many times I have done. I used to take for. Am I right, Chittibabu? I think I was taking genetics, plant breeding, etc. for your class. I remember. So I used to draw the DNA structure on the blackboard. And today, in the modern classrooms, you are having a televised structure. What you call as, you can bring a e-board. That's what you call as a e-electronic board. You can download the DNA structure and show to the students. So this is the modern idea. And before that, what happened? Let me tell you. what has been our learning practice. Try to relax and listen to me. I'll just go back a particular aspect of this. In the Tamil Nadu and in general in India, or we know that earlier people have been learning from their own houses. And in Tamil Nadu, there is one thing is known as Thinnai Pallikudam. Thinnai Pallikudam is, you know what is Thinnai? If you know Thinnai, you can chat back and write you understand Thinnai. Let me tell you, for those who do not know Tamil, what is Thinnai? Thinnai is a small area outside the house, and it is a mountain area and not well protected. Only a shelter will be there on the top, and this is called a Thinnai. And the teacher who has this house on the open area outside his house needs to collect the students and teach from there. This is called Thinnai Pallikudam. And the great people have come out of this Thinnai Pallikudam, let me tell you. And in fact, in Presidency College, there is a statue of the great Dr. Uwe Swaminathan, who is otherwise known as Tamil Tata. Have you seen the statue? If you visit, or you can now visit any place virtually. You can have, if you go to the place, a small platform outside the house, what Sendil is writing, that is a Thinnai is what he understands. You are right. You are right, Sendil. There's a platform that is outside, and it is called Thinnai Pallikudam. And from Thinnai Pallikudam, we have having a classroom under the tree. Most popularly in India, have you heard about Shanti Niketan? Started by the great Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, who was a Nobel laureate and one of the excellent poets of our country, Rabindranath Tagore, who started the university known as Shanti Niketan. And the Shanti Niketan, where the classrooms are, Adit Hazra, he is from Bengal, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you for chatting back and responding to my, I think it's a wonderful, I have visited the place for one of the conference when I visited Calcutta. I visited Shanti Niketan, and the Shanti Niketan, they used to conduct classes in those times under the tree. And in Tamil Nadu itself, I know in Chennai, I don't know how many people have visited Chennai Kalakshetra. In Kalakshetra, they used to conduct classes under the tree. Oh, wonderful. There's a beautiful idea, and we find that these understanding of a Thinnai Pallikudam or what we call as under the tree, then we have shifted to classroom. And the classrooms are very simple classrooms, and people used to sit. I used to sit in our own small area where I studied in my primary school. We used to have small planks. We don't have stools and chairs and tables. We used to sit on the floor, and that is a kind of classroom. And then from there, we went up, and classrooms are being grown. And you find the classroom with a beautiful blackboard. And even in our own college and other college, we have got a glass board. Painted glass boards are there where you can write, which is easily visible. And from there, I think at the end of the 20th, so even in the 1980s and things like this, we have got what you call as smart classroom. The smart classroom are the ones that are going to be a regular feature in most of the schools in some about they get back. And let me now ask the question. In all these things, whether it is Thinnai Pallikudam or under the tree or the blackboard or the e-board, we call it e-board, that is electronic board. Whatever it is, there is one thing that is common. What is the common thing? Okay, the common thing is learning, and if anybody you can chat back. The common thing is there was a teacher and the student physically present. The students and teachers were physically present. I want you to know the concept. So for all these 5 minutes or 3 minutes of my talk, in the learning practice, the earlier learning practice has been having different models. Thinnai Pallikudam, under the tree, under the small classroom, under the sophisticated classroom, AC rooms, smart classrooms with all the new gadgets, and also your TV and videos and audio, everything. But in spite of all these things, it is always the teacher and the students were in the close proximity of a physical continuum. So that was a basic thing. in all this. Now what happens today? Sir, we go for the next slide. Abdul sir will go for the next slide. In the next slide, you are going to see. So in the earlier slide, the sum and substance of the earlier slide is that whatever happened, whatever mode of classrooms are there, the important thing was the teacher was there, the students were there. Now we are going for online learning is the way forward and a new normal phase. All of you, I'll give you about 20 seconds for you to just read through this once again and absorb the idea. Please read, all participants. Please read once again what is written there on the board. Online learning is a way forward and a new normal phase. Do you find anything that is which looks out of the way in these lines? Well, when I see that, I think most of the students or most of the participants will see what is this new normal phase. What is this has become a new coinage of word after the pandemic. The new normal phase. Normally, what is normal is traditional. What is normally happening must be old, which is already understood by people. But here, what we have picked up as a new thing has become the normal. You understand? And this, my friends, one of the things, there are many things have become a new normal. For example, today, washing hands, wearing a mask, or keeping a social distance of 6 feet away from everybody, and not crowding. There are so many regulations out there. We are talking about the pandemic. And these new ideas have become so important that has become normal. You understand? இது புதிதாக இருந்தாலும் இது கண்டிப்பாக பழக்கத்திலே கொண்டு வர வேண்டும் என்ற காரணத்தால் இது புதிதாக இருந்தாலும் பழக்கப்பட வேண்டிய ஒன்று என்ற காரணத்தால் it is called new normal. Okay, and that is how you have to do that. And one of the important things in the new normal phase is online learning. Okay, இந்த ஸ்லைட்ல இருந்து நீங்க புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டியது நியூ நார்மல் ஃபேஸ்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய முக்கியமான விஷயம் ஆன்லைன் லேர்னிங். Let me tell you, even under the pandemic condition, even suppose somebody has to tell you wash your hand and check your temperature, use oximeter and use your thermal scan, etc. Everything can be told only through online, only through a communication, electronic communication. So online learning has become one of the most important aspects, and today that is it. And I tell you another thing. There is two more things are there on the board. What is that? One is time bound. Another is real time. What is this? And also there is a picture nearby where there is a clock like thing, and you find there is a block line and a dotted line. These dotted lines show that the time is manageable or the time is adjustable. And what is the block line is the time is not adjustable. So be careful to listen to this particular aspect, because many people think online learning is a new way, no doubt about it. But there are different modes of online learning. In fact, this is one of the important message I want to share with you on this morning. Please understand that carefully. There are two things. One is called asynchronous online teaching, or we call it as asynchronous online courses. These are otherwise known as time bound. What is this time bound? These are programs most often delivered in a asynchronous format. That means, what is it? Simply means that the learning does not take place live. Okay, it is not taking place live, because most of the students think that online learning is all the time online. That is what is today. We are talking about school students and also about college students. The online teaching need not be like a seminar like this all the time. This is different way. For example, let me tell you, if I tell you some background, you will understand it better. Ask me a question, sir. Online teaching எப்போ ஆரம்பிச்சது? What was the year in which this online teaching was accepted or started? You may ask a question like that, try to understand. You will be surprised. The online teaching idea has started in 1960, 1960, about 60 years back, about 40, 50 years back. In 1960, the University of Illinois in the United States, they have developed what you call as an intranet. Like we are talking about intranet, they developed an intranet in the computer section, and they started giving message across their own departments inside their campus. And that is the starting point of the idea. You see, the idea is always a golden idea, and we have to accept that. And that idea came up, and after that, what happened was this idea caught up with the one after the other. When the internet came, the online learning has started, and it was in the year after the, I think in the year 2000, around 2010, online learning has become very important. In 2010 alone, more than 5.5 million students have registered for online learning throughout the world. And this online learning is not live. This online learning is not real time. They are time bound. Asynchronous course. What do you mean by asynchronous course? This means the online course will be, the material will be available 24/7. All days, all time, it will be available. And you will be given by your own teaching academic head that you will have to complete the assignment within a week's time. And you have to submit two seminar feed or two projects or whatever discussion or whatever that is available for them in the whatever mode they are. Any assignment for that matter, any kind of assignment, they'll give within this time, you give it. And how do you go about it? Your materials are available. So the actual meaning is that every student will have, the advantage. You are able to see the advantage. You are not going to be sitting in one place all the time. You are given 1 week time, you finish it. And then submit it in next Monday morning. So you will have to adjust your time and go online to submit it. The communication is online, but the preparation is not synchronous. Preparation is asynchronous. That means preference can be different time. Okay, that is the beauty of this particular thing. Most of the people learning marketing science, etc., have been creative writing. And what is another thing? Like somebody has rightly written through the chat, it is synchronous online courses. Thank you. Some of the participants are really coming along with it. I'm happy about it. Next is what is it? Synchronous. What is synchronous? It's what is happening right now. I'm talking to you and you are listening, but you have to be on time. I will be here by 11 o'clock. You must be there in your house by 11 o'clock, wherever you are, whether in your home or in your hostel, wherever it is, you must be with your equipment to listen to me online. So this actually is what is online. And this online teaching is possible, and today they are doing it for school children. And there is another online possibility is it can be something like a hybrid or blended course. That is, you can have an online course along with a synchronous course. For example, I conduct a synchronous course. I'll tell the students to assemble for this kind of a teleconference for between 11 and 12. I give them assignments there that they can finish in a week's time and send me later. So this is what we call as a blended one. So you got the meaning of this slide is two things you remember. New normal phase is something that you think what is new. Why should I jump into the new model? Shall I be remaining back? No, it's not possible. Whether you like it or not, it has become a new normal phase. That's one particular point you must remember. The second point is there are two things, asynchronous and synchronous. Asynchronous is time bound, but it's not real time. Time bound, not real time. And synchronous is real time. That means you have to come on live. And the third option is your online teachers or your online preference. You can register with anybody. For example, why I'm telling you this is there are courses that are available throughout the world. You have to go and ask for the mode of their arrangement, whether they are synchronous or asynchronous or the blended course. And you can choose any of them. Okay, that's it. Now we'll go for the next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. After a technically divided topics like synchronous and asynchronous. And can you guess? Can anybody guess? I have a concept out of this for the education side. If any of you have got a different concept, let me finish my concept. Now, and after listening to me, if you have some other idea, you can chat back. You can send your idea back. Now, why I wanted this slide here? This is a slide which is going to explain to you the pace that cafeteria approach. Yeah, cafeteria approach is a different thing. You can add it. Please wait for my understanding of this and then come back. You see, in the platform, there is a train is stopped there. And there are people working on the platform. Now, is the train is going to be there all the time? No. The train in a platform will be there. And though the photograph shows it is standing, it will not stopping for long. It will move. And another aspect is some people will get down and some people will get in. And there will be movement. The movement of the train is going to be dynamic. The passengers are also going to be dynamic. Now, what my concept is, a classroom is something similar to this. You are right. Students are like passengers, or students are like train, or the passengers outside or inside. And the train is like a teacher because he is training everybody. I thought the train can be a useful simile. How do you say in Tamil? We call it a simile. Is called Umai. So you've got a train. A trainer or a teacher is like a train, and the passengers are the students. Now let me give you one particular example. Suppose your friend is going on a train, and you have come to see him off, and you want to give him a water bottle. Say a water bottle like this, and he has forgotten. And this water bottle he has to give, and the train has started moving. What will you do? Or will you throw the water bottle towards this window? No. What do you do? You started running along with the train or go along with the train and handing over. So in this particular process, what you are achieving so that your pace is matched with the pace of the train. Only then you can make it. If you are running fast, you will be running waste. And yes, synchronous. This is the same time level. That's what we are talking about. The same pace you have to add, and you find you can reach your friend on the window. The same thing what is happening in a classroom. If the teachers and the students are on a different wavelength and different phase, then the communication is not there. And especially on an online teaching, this is a very important factor. My good friends, my teaching friends and the student friends, you have to remember. If one of them is running faster, then the other person has to slow down. Or the other person who is slow down has to pick up the speed. Either the teacher or the student have to see, both of them together have to arrive at a particular level of understanding of communication. Either because the teachers always understand the level of students, how they are able to absorb. So they are able to talk like that, and the students should also be coming preferred. And if all the students are able to understand one concept, the idea, then the teacher will go further. You see, my own, you can ask people like Chiti Babu or Dr. Shankaran or Dr. Muthukumaran or Dr. Ranjit who are here in my own class. Sometimes when all the students understand one concept, we go beyond. We want to complete one particular portion today. But when every student has understood it, we go beyond that. So this is how you can simply enhance the velocity of the learning process. And that is why I thought I can give you this example. And my good friends, if you find for this slide any other example or any other thing are suitable, please chat back. When I give my next lecture, I'll include, also give you credit. Your name will be given a credit on this. Okay, now let's go for the next slide, please. Now, build with balance. You see, in a classroom, the teacher's main idea for an online teaching is to build with balance, because you see, one important thing is there are 4 blocks are there, and one block is critical thinking. Another block is creativity, and another block is collaborative skills, and the 4th one is problem solving. I'm not going to write it on my slide. I want you to remember. Many things I don't write on the slide because the more things that you write on a slide, it remains only on the slide. It doesn't go into you. So the slide will be simple, and the many things that I'm talking about will go into your own slide inside. That's more important. So let me repeat it. What are the 4 blocks? Normally in the regular classroom, when I conduct this, I used to at the end of the lecture, I used to say, in the particular slide, I told about 4 principles. What is that? So people will respond to that. So here also, let me ask you like that. At the end, maybe you remember, you can write it, note down. One is critical thinking. The second is creativity. The third is collaborative skill. And the fourth is problem solving. There is not much time for me to elaborate on all these things because our idea is only about online education and learning. But let me tell you in a hurry. Critical thinking is what is the inclusion of logic and analysis and solution in your approach. That is what is called a creative. And creative thinking is another. Creativity is another important thing. You can chat back the best creation or innovation that you have come across. Let me tell you, and you can respond through your chat back, and everybody can say something. And the thing which I appreciate, the person who invented the eraser with the pencil rubber. I don't know whether you have seen it now. We used to use it even when drawing your records. There will be a pencil. At the end of the pencil, there will be an eraser. What a wonderful creativity. Not much cost or anything like that. But when you're using a pencil, your best friend is a rubber. Because anytime you make a mistake immediately. Otherwise, if you have to look for a rubber, then you may have it or not. Especially when writing your examination, that is it. And what a wonderful innovation or creativity from fountain pen to ballpoint pen. Are you any of you using fountain pen now? No, I know. Can you believe it, my good friends, that once upon a time in Madras University, when we were writing examination as students, we were not allowed to write with ballpoint pen. The examination will be written only in fountain pen. They won't allow ballpoint. And like that, in offices, when you go and sign, in banks and other things, when you are giving your signature, they won't allow fountain pen. I mean, they will allow only fountain pen. They will not allow ballpoint pen. So this is what you call. Yes, safety pin is another great. Somebody has chatted back. But the best invention of the world, it comes in the first safety pin. So many inventions you can write. So that is about the creativity. The third point is collaborative skill. This has become very important in online learning, my friends, because here, unlike in a classroom where you are meeting all your student friends and the teachers all the time and every time, you go for lunch together. Like my good student Chittibabu said, we used to go for tours, botanical tour where the teacher and students interact. We used to enjoy our company. We become part of one family. And the research students, when you become a research student of a professor, you spend a lot of time with your guide and monitor many things. So, but these interactions are not possible in pandemic. And in online, live or non-live courses, synchronous or asynchronous, you have to develop contact with the individual connectivity. For example, one of the ethical and the basic idea is that we used to tell when taking online classes, all the online classes class students should have their email and WhatsApp group so that they are always in communication. So that if you are not able to understand something, you can get it advised by your friend or go for your library skill, whatever it is. So I don't want to elaborate again. There's a time limitation. I think I have only some more time left for this. So we'll go in a hurry, but please remember the third point is collaborative skill. And the fourth point is problem solving. You see, problem solving, that's one student asked me, sir, mathematics students, sir, problem solving, sir. I said, don't think that mathematics people alone get problems. You also get problems. They got so many problems are there. We chase it. I tell you one example, which I think many more than 20% of the students may be from science side. So let me tell you that. We used to have an experiment for glucose estimation. And for this particular glucose estimation, the plumber or the textbook of practical biochemistry, they give a lot of indications, but Every time you do it according to the book, you don't get a result at all. But once according to the experience, one of our professors said, sir, first we have to get this particular solvent that you are testing it under the fridge. You have to put it under fridge and cool condition. Only then otherwise it get charred, the glucose get charred. And this is one of the simple ideas that you get by experience, which is not available in any of the books. So there is a problem, somebody has already solved it. And if the problem solving is there, for example, first you find a problem in online learning. This is what I don't understand. This particular, what you call a learning material is inadequate for me. You don't immediately ask anybody from outside. You ask again your own inner circle. So to develop an inner circle and to develop a contact with them, electronic, whatever it is, WhatsApp or chat skill or a discussion board, whatever it is, and then go for it. So these are the 4 things, and they build with balance. Don't do it in a hurry, but do it. Let me repeat once again: critical thinking, creativity, and the 3rd thing is collaborative skill, and 4th is problem solving. We'll go to the next slide, please. And today we are having a lot of interest in our apps. How many apps everybody knows? And today there's also about why we have to start using our Indian apps. And here I have got a different apps. My apps, what you can download is different. What is this apps? Attitude, priority, protocol, and self-reliance. And these are the what you call as apps you download free of cost. And there is no what you call as branded thing or anything like that. And you can do it or and this app you have to download for everything, not for only one thing. For all your activities, this is the apps. Please remember, whenever next time somebody talks about apps, there is a new app or an old apps, please remember, for every student and every teacher, your apps is only this. What is that? Attitude, priority, protocol, self-reliance. Again, I don't have much time to elaborate on this. I'll simply give one word for this. What is attitude? Well, in Tamil, we call it as manappanmai. Some attitude. For classroom, you should have an attitude. In class, the teacher you should have a passion. You know who is the best teacher and student? It is like the best teacher will be having a bottle of water, and the best student has the worst of the thirst. மாணவன் தாகத்தோடு இருக்க வேண்டும், ஆசிரியர் தண்ணீரோடு இருக்க வேண்டும். தமிழ்ல சொல்றதுன்னா மாணவன் தாகத்தோடு இருக்க வேண்டும், ஆசிரியன் தண்ணீரோடு இருக்க வேண்டும். A teacher should be having water, bottle of water, and the student have got a thirst. அப்படி ரெண்டும் வரும்போது the சேர்க்கை, the இணைப்பு, the coming together of an understanding student and appreciating teacher, fantastic, excellent. You will find the product of these students, the student product out of this kind of relation are the people, those are going to be nation builders. Nama nation the citizens, those who are being useful citizens, are all those who have appreciated teaching like that. So this is what is the attitude I want. Don't be whimpering. ஐயோ இன்னைக்கு ஆன்லைன் இருக்கா, இன்னைக்கு அது இல்ல இது இல்ல, இந்த மாதிரி சுணங்க கூடாது, முடக்கம் கூடாது. In English, when I say, you must be always afresh, and you must have a long learning desire, a desire to learn. And இன்னொன்னு சொல்றேன், அதுக்கு இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லணும்னா playful curiosity. Let me repeat, playful curiosity. Curiosity-னா ஒரு புரியாத விஷயத்தை தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறது ஒரு ஆர்வம். See, ரெண்டு விதமான மனிதர்கள் இருக்காங்க. சில பேர் ஒரு விஷயம் தெரியலன்னா புதுசா வானப்பா விட்டு போகும். இன்னும் சில பேர் தெரியலன்னா ரொம்ப ஆர்வம் காட்டுவாங்க. ஒரு விஷயம் தெரியலன்னா அதன் மேல் அதிகமாக ஆர்வம் காட்டுவாங்க. There are two kinds of people who simply do not want anything new, and another kind of people who are more interested when something is new, when they are more interested when something is challenging. You see, when you develop yourself as a person who appreciates challenges, that is right. Okay, you appreciate challenge. ஒரு தடை வரும்போது தடை கற்களை படிக்கற்களாக மாற்றக்கூடிய எண்ணம், அதுதான். Whenever there is a challenge, you go through this challenge, and that is the beauty of it. Now next is priority. What is priority? தமிழ்ல சொல்றதுன்னா முன்னுரிமை. priority. எதுக்கு முன்னுரிமை கொடுக்கணும்? ஆன்லைன்ல கிளாஸ்ல வரும்போது நீங்க கொடுக்க வேண்டிய முன்னுரிமை. What you have to give priority is time management. காலம். இப்போ 11 மணிக்கு இந்த வெப் செமினார் தொடங்குதுன்னா நீங்க 11 மணி லேட்டா வந்து கதவை தட்ட முடியாது. நிறைய விஷயம் போயிருக்கும். You see, there is a time lag in the regular and there is no time lag in online. If it starts by 11 o'clock, it goes on, just goes fast. So you have to be, time management must be there. And இன்னும் புரிய முடியா சொல்லணும்னா, your watch can stop, but time will not change. Watch, அதாவது ஒரு கடிகாரம் நிற்கலாம், காலம் நிற்க முடியாது. தமிழ்ல சொன்னா. The people those who understand Tamil, please. அப்பப்போ தமிழ்ல பேசினா எனக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டா இருக்கும். I love that language. கடிகாரம் நிற்கும், காலம் நிற்காது. Your clock may stop, the time will not stop. And therefore, my friends, you remember priority, and your priority is time management. Okay, next one is protocol. Do you know what is the meaning of protocol? நிறைய பேர் சொல்றாங்க. Protocol சொல்றாங்க. What is the meaning of protocol? Protocol is very ஒன்றும் பெரிய விஷயம் இல்லை. It's a what you call as an official procedure. அதான் protocol. Official procedure. அது மாதிரி இந்த ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ் you should have a protocol. அந்த கிளாஸ் ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது கரெக்டா வந்து உட்காரணும். And you must be well dressed. நம்ம வீட்ல இருக்க எப்படி வேணா இருக்கலாம். கிளாஸ் போற மாதிரி வரணும். That is the beauty. நான் ஏற்கனவே சொன்னது மாதிரி எல்லா விதமான கிளாஸ் ரூம்லயும் the only thing that is common in all kind of classroom is the interaction between the teacher and the taught, teacher and the students, and they must be properly attired. The teacher or the student in an online class should come properly dressed and come in time. And you should have, like in the seminar like Dr. Abdul Rahim has very nicely put it. What is the protocol? மற்றவங்க பேசும்போது உங்க மைக்கை மியூட் பண்றது. அண்ட் இப்போ நிறைய பேர் என்ன பண்றாங்க, எனக்கு கிளாஸ்ல பெரிய பிரச்சனை என்ன, I saw that in WhatsApp also. One student is actually brushing his teeth and listening to a lecture, and another fellow is eating something, taking his coffee in the morning. Morning means for him it is 8 or 9 o'clock, we do not know. Class 9 மணிக்கு ஆரம்பிச்சானா கிளாஸ்ல வந்து misuse their time available. And of course misuse பத்தி பேச வேணாம், ப்ராப்பர் யூஸ் பத்தி நாம சொல்லணும். இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட் ப்ளீஸ் chat back what you think is the most important protocol. I want to get the feedback. ஏன்னா என்ன விட நீங்க அதிகமா அதுல you are experiencing this, students from various places. Please all students tell me back, chat me back what is you consider as the most important protocol. Okay, next is self reliance. ரொம்ப முக்கியம். You have to be self reliant and you don't all the time depend upon spoon feeding. Let people come there and help you. Okay, not exaggerating on this and elaborating more, thinking on the time. Please let's go for the next slide. Next slide please. Have you seen this particular game? What you are seeing here is called the seesaw. In the seesaw வந்து இப்போ எத்தனை பேர் விளையாடுறாங்கன்னு தெரியல. இப்போ சில பேர் நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன். In seesaw, in the children park, it is there some adult people sit in one corner and the seesaw will not go up at all. It will be there on only one side. But here why it is, I'll tell you my concept. You can chat back. Ungaludiya concept where you can chat back. My concept is the seesaw will move, the heavier one will be down, the lower one will be up. So when a seesaw, suppose on one side the teacher is there, another side is student is there. When the teacher enters the class, the seesaw will be down on the teacher side and up on the student side, because teacher has got the knowledge and that particular idea is not, that knowledge is not available with the student. So students will be up, teacher will be down. At the end of the class, what will happen? At the end of the class, it should be equal. The teacher is completely transferred his ideas and knowledge to the student. So it will be natural there. And then what happens is the student understand better and better, that will go down. That portion will go down. Then the teacher will be up. To come down, what the teacher has to say, he has to heavy himself. He has to keep his weight up by updating himself. When he updates, students come down. And the students update, the teachers have to update. This seesaw is all the time happening. And I tell you, this is what I said. If I have been a good teacher, it is because my students. And every good teacher will improve his lecture by noting the questions asked by the teacher. Please, my teaching friends, this will be your experiment, your experience also. This is your experience. the inconvenient questions asked by the student will motivate the teacher. You see, my friends, all the time you are talking about motivate the student, motivate the student, motivate. No, the students actually can motivate the teacher. If students ask, suppose in a classroom, we say, now any questions, there will be a great silence. Nobody will ask the question. But if a right question is asked, my student will understand. In a classroom, properly listen. And if you ask one nice question back to the teacher, that is like giving him a lakh of rupees. Like he's giving him a diamond ring. It is as good as that. I have experienced like that. It's very important. The teacher must be encouraged and motivated, not by outsider, but by the students himself. So that is why I said update, update, and update 3 times. Why 3 times? Students should update, teachers should update, the management, those are helping the cause of education, should also update. Today, I tell you, there are so many poor students are there. We are talking on through laptops, mobile, and iPads and iPods and everything. There are so many students who are not having this facility. If you are going to continue the online education, the Indian government, the society, and people those who are somewhat better in the society should reach out for the poor students and give them these benefits. Give them a laptop, small laptop you can buy and give. Don't give a gift of eatables and things like this. This one mobile or one gift of a laptop a poor student will definitely help him to go in for what you call as a long-term operational aspect of education, and he can join the online education. You see, the moment you give a poor student an instrument for joining this, then he will join in the mainstream. So this is one of the main message I want to give you today. We go for the next slide. What is this? See, one fellow is having an umbrella and there is a rain and it is pouring on this, or it's not a rain, actually maybe from the upper apartment somebody is pouring water on his head and he is having an umbrella. But you see, the water droplets coming out of the umbrella, he is catching it in another 4 or 5 buckets and small vessels. This is what is the picture for optimization, or what you call as leverage. In a corporate world, in the modern world, we call it as a leverage. அதாவது எந்த சூழ்நிலையில இதனால ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் எப்படி, இதுல இருந்து என்ன பெனிஃபிட்? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், யூ ஆர் வெயிட்டிங் ஃபார் அ ட்ரெயின், வெயிட்டிங் ஃபார் அ பஸ், lot of time is wasted. Then you can read some book. Of course, now people are just looking into the mobile and do anything. But what use it? The time that is allotted, when the waiting time or the travel time or the running time, please make sure that it is being used properly. And that is what is my particular idea of this optimization. I'm going to, please remember, you can ask me question back, sir, why you have shown this picture? I showed this picture because one is optimization, another is leverage. தமிழ்ல சொல்றதுன்னா, ஒரு செய்தியை எது கையிலே இருக்கிறதோ அதனுடைய முழுமையான பயனை நீங்கள் பயன்படுத்துங்க. ஆப்டிமைசேஷனுக்கு என்ன தமிழ்ல சொல்றது? முழுமையான பயனை அனுபவிக்க வேண்டும். Once you are having a mobile, don't use it only for chat or only for writing something. It has got all, you can, the entire world is in your hand. So you can go for referencing and etc. This is what you mean by profitable optimization. Okay, now go for the next slide. On the next slide, we'll be going for disruptive thing. I think Dr. Abdul Rahim will appreciate this slide, being a zoologist, and many people, you understand what is happening here. An egg, and it is breaking, and a crocodile is coming. It is a crocodile egg, and the crocodile is coming out. This is what we call, please note it down, the disruptive chain. Please note it. Are you noting down? This is called, changes. We have been talking about changes. Students, please note, this is called disruptive change. What is a disruptive change? That which actually disrupts something. That which actually is beyond your recognition, something changes. So, unless this change happens, progress is not possible. That's the slide சொல்றது. இந்த முட்டை உடையாமல் அந்த உயிரினம் வெளியே வர முடியாது. இந்த முட்டை உடைஞ்சாதான் வெளியில வர முடியும். Unless the egg breaks, a disruption takes place, the progress is not possible. Now, what is the content here? We have got a bad pandemic today, which is impacting the entire world. And we are all in a disrupted mood. And in fact, in the 21st century, every disruptive change is a way for progress. இன்னைக்கு வந்து இந்த disruptive change இல்லைன்னா நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவோமா? Let me tell you, whether Chitti Babu or any of my students can react to this. I would have been invited directly to the presidency college. I would be going there and talking. And today, because it is not possible, we are here. And what is the advantage? What is the forwardness? Today, we have got about, say, 15% of the students are from other states. And about 2% of the students are from other countries. Those are attending this seminar, which is not possible earlier. So, my friends, always look out the best thing. But என்ன பண்ணா அவன் வீட்டுல வந்து புயல் அடிச்சு குடிசையில கூரையெல்லாம் போயிடுது, கூரையெல்லாம் உடைஞ்சு போயிடுது. அவன் என்ன பண்ணா மேல பார்த்து, now I can see stars from inside my house. என் வீட்டுக்குள்ள இருந்தே நான் நட்சத்திரங்களை பார்க்க முடியும். புரியுதா? கூரை போயிடுது, மேல ஓடெல்லாம் போச்சு, கூரை உடைஞ்சு போச்சு. அதை பத்தி அவன் கவலைப்படல. அவன் என்ன சொன்னா, மேல பார்த்து, now I can see stars from my house itself. அதனால every disruption has got an advantage. Please understand that. And there are so much to talk about these things. But again, there's a time restriction. But one thing I tell you, in the one scientist enna panna, he experimented with helping the egg. He broke the egg himself and brought the chick outside. But these chicks had very weak limbs, and the beaks were the head and the beak were very big, and the wings are very small and ineffective, because unless the particular organism tries to hit the wall of the egg and come out, it will not become the proper organism. So the survival of the fittest will see that it will not survive the atmosphere. If it breaks the egg and come out with its own effort, it will be surviving on the atmosphere. That is what is happening here. Okay, next we go for the next slide, please. You can chat back. Which is the fastest animal in this? Which is the fastest animal you can see of this? Anybody chat back? I'll see. Yeah, you are right. Sudhakar, Rajan. Yes, thank you. Can you also chat back what is the speed of this animal in terms of kilometer per hour? Anybody? Ranjit Kumar, thank you. It's Cheetah, Srividya, Jyoti, Satya, Shakti, many people. Cheetah is the fastest. What is the fast? No, not 140. According to the record, it can go, but normal speed is 110 kilometer per hour. Okay, 110, 110 kilometer per hour. What is the slowest in this? Yeah, that's correct. 110. Saji George, thank you. Preeti, Sudhakar, tortoise. Yes, we call a giant tortoise. And this tortoise is what is the speed? Can anybody guess? The speed of this is somewhere in the vicinity of, let me check up my notes, 0.17 miles per hour. 0.17. I'm sorry, it's not kilometers, but miles, I'll tell you. 0.17 miles. Where is the 110 and where is the 0.17? There's a grade. When you see cheetah, horses, deer, dogs, elephants, rabbit, and tortoise. Now, why should I show this diagram here? In online learning or in a teaching and student population, why I show these animals? Because the basic is that each animal has got a different speed, but they are able to run. Even a tortoise can run, even an elephant can run. The speed may be different. So, the students have got a different pace of learning. There's a difference. You can find, I can tell you, one of my own classmates studied in Vivekananda College, who was a BCom student. He was only a third class BCom. Third class, and he just passed. But later he joined CA. And one fine morning when I was finishing my MSc, he was also doing his CA. And that time, in the Madras papers, I was outside, I was in Banaras University. And this person, I was watching the Tamil paper, and one paper they wrote, the gold medalist in CA. And this, my friend's face was there. I was wondering, this fellow is only a third class in BCom, how he became a CA best man, and he has become a gold medalist. This has turned my idea even those times. And then every time I see a student in a classroom, I don't differentiate whether he's a first class student or a third class student. I never do that. I see that all of them have got the potentiality for becoming number one. Because the speed of learning or the velocity of learning differs from each one. So my teacher friends, I want to tell you, don't assess your students with one particular class mark or one particular dissertation or one particular record work. No, they are beyond that. Every individual has got the potentiality. நீங்க அவனுக்கு மார்க் போட வேணாம். நீங்க அவனுக்கு வந்து பெருசா வந்து ரெக்கார்ட்ல வந்து வெரி குட் எழுத வேண்டாம். பட் கிவ் them the confidence. ஒரு நல்ல டீச்சர் வந்து ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு கொடுக்க வேண்டியது வந்து சப்ஜெக்ட் சொல்லி கொடுக்கறதை விட அதிகமான விஷயம் நம்பிக்கை. You should give them confidence. So when you are running these online classes, I want you to attract your students. ஏன்னா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் உட்கார்ந்து கேட்கறானா, படுத்துட்டு கேட்கறானா, தூங்கிட்டு கேட்கறானா, கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல தூங்கினா தெரிஞ்சிடும். But I tell you, some students have got the capacity. Close their, open their eyes and sleep. சில ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பெஞ்சில் உட்காந்துருப்பான். பட் இப்படி நம்மள பார்த்துட்டு இருப்பான். பார்த்தோன்னா தூங்குறானே தெரியாது. அப்படி இருக்கலாம். But online classes the teachers have to be very careful because we do not know whether he is listening carefully, whether he is listening reclining or is taking rest. So what you have to do is you have to make your lessons very creative and becoming more interactive and becoming more interesting. So like any of you then chat back any other possibilities of interpretation from this slide. Okay, you can also chat back. In the animal section, the speed. What is my example? What is my interpretation? The speed differs, and you can write. There are also very many points out there. For want of time, I leave it to you. Please chat back. What are the other possibilities of connecting concept for this particular seminar from this slide that you can get back? Now we go for the next slide. Everyone is unique, different abilities. Excellent, excellent. Okay, and according to Thomas Gray, is another futuristic writer and American. The jobs which are available today may not exist in another 20 years. 60% of the best jobs for the next 10 years have not been invented yet. Yes, Surendra, they are unique in that run. You can chat back. I will watch your answers even after the event. So now we go for the slide. I'll read once again. The jobs which are available today may not exist in another 20 years. I tell you. I give an example. See, when we are giving this, even seniors to us, those are submitting their PhD thesis. Whenever there is some typing is wrong, the entire page will be taken. Because in a regular typewriting machine, you can't do that. And when the computer has come, the typewriting machine is no more available. And we used to stand in front queue of the Xerox machine. How many of you have seen Xerox machine? Are any of you using Xerox now? Please chat back. Today, Xerox machine is out of order. You have got scans, you have got photo scans, you have got everything, anything available. But here you find many things have gone out of it. For example, do you know what is known as PCO? Please chat back. What is PCO? Public call centers. PCO. Do you find any PCO now? No, because everybody has got a mobile. In some more time, you are going to see the regular television is going to be out of place because they are really connected with your mobile, and with a simple mobile you can do many things. So the chances or options of jobs also different. And yes, public call offices. And like this, there are many. This also you can remember. You can connect it with this, and you can write your answers back on this. There are 60% of the best jobs are not yet invented. So online educators got to tell and impress upon the students what is not available for them online. You have to give. For example, if you are going to use the same Google and same thing that the students is also doing, you are not going to be the best teacher, and he may not be interested in listening to you. You have to have creative. You have to make sure that interesting aspects are not. Next slide, please. Yeah. And Abdul sir, can you tell me how much time I can take?
Sir, Shri Babu sir, please.
Sir, go ahead, sir. You can complete another 15 minutes, sir. 15
Yeah, I
minutes.
can do that. Yeah, another 15 minutes I'll complete. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my friends, just look at this particular, what is artificial intelligence? Many of you know. Machine learning, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analysis, analytics, that's another area, data engineering, data science. I think about July 1st, Madras IIT has come out with BSc Data Science online program. I think some of you may be interested and join. There is a protocol, you have to write an online examination and then go for the examination center once again. Idea is there, BSc Data Science is a wonderful opportunity for you. Students interested can join. And data visualization. This is also becoming very important because the data is made into a visual level and this is another programming. And then augmented reality and virtual reality. We call it as AR and VR. Some of you must have seen it in your WhatsApp also. In Kerala, the teachers, those who are teaching the primary education classes, in the online classes, they are using this AR and VR, and there is a call an elephant. Suppose I want to teach about elephant to the classroom, you can get a virtual elephant in the classroom. You are talking about the galaxy, you can get the virtual galaxy there. Suppose I want to talk about the DNA, I can get the virtual structure of a DNA and try to rotate it and see. The double helical model of the DNA was very difficult to show in the class in the earlier. That is why you find the chemistry models. You might have seen old chemistry teachers used to come with a box and they used to put a stick and ball, what we call as the ball and stick model. And this model they have to create. Now what you can do is, yeah, AR and VR can do that. Now the next one is cyber security. This is also very important. For example, when you are just giving your evaluation back to the teacher, for example, you are writing examination and sending your reports back, there should be a lot of security. There should be identity, passwords, and other protocols must be gone through. And that's a very important aspect. Then cloud computing and IoT, that is again another application, IoT, the internet of the things, and mobile apps, you know very well, and blockchain, the considered registry for the collection of data. And robotics is again, you are very common, easily you understand this topic. Now, why I have given this particular topics? All these topics are, all these subjects are interrelated with developing the online learning process. Please remember this. The most important, why I'm showing this slide? Because all these subjects from A to LISC, all these subjects are going to contribute the improvement of online learning process. So if you know something about it, then you will understand, maybe one of you can be contributing towards this. Suppose you are learning cyber security, you can come out with some idea how you can improve this. And what is blockchain? Somebody is asking, what is the meaning of? What is it? What you asked? Blockchain. Okay, I'll tell you later. I'm not able to catch up with this. It is linked to cryptography. They try to rewrite the entire registry or the accounts of the corporates and try to retain it. So the data will not be lost. Again, blockchain is a big topic to discuss about. There is a blockchain.com is there, and the company is actually involved in saving a lot of data throughout the world. We'll discuss about it later. There's not much time. Kindly excuse me. We'll go to the next slide. This is, anybody can say this is the picture of a tennis court. And here the ball is hitting the net. And the ball, if it comes on the same line, it is out. So somebody said, I'll ask you, tennis விளையாடுறது ரொம்ப difficult and what is the most important aspect of tennis? You have to put the ball in the other side. Am I right? Yes. You have to put the ball on the other side. Other tennis விளையாடுறது. One fellow said, it's very difficult to do that. Let us take the net. Net எடுத்துருங்க சார் விளையாடலாம். Can you take the net out? Can you play tennis without nets? Please remember that. You cannot play tennis without net. It is not possible. And so, when you have a net, You have to see that it is going the other side. Like that, the rules of the game, how we are carrying these rules of the game, like the net in a tennis team, like the rules in online learning classes. There are certain set rules. As I said, the protocols, the priority, the security, the internet connectivity, the technical support. There are a number of rules are there. These rules, when they are not followed, then you will be missing everything. Okay. So please remember, next slide. Rules are important. That is the meaning of it. Now, this slide shows, this is the last but one slide I think I have. This shows a lot of link is there. And one particular link is open. In a chain, ஒரு சங்கிலி தமிழ்ல சொல்றதுன்னா ஒரு சங்கிலியில நிறைய இணைப்புகள் இருக்கின்றன, வளையங்கள் இருக்கின்றன. அந்த ஒரு வளையம் ஓபன் ஆனா கூட ஒரு வளையம் சரியா இல்லைன்னா கூட அந்த செயின் ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆகாது இல்லையா? In English, what we call as the strength of the chain is limited by the strength of the individual links. ஒரு செயின் அல்லது ஒரு சங்கிலியினுடைய வலிமை, the strength of the chain is directly proportional to the importance of every link. இதுல வந்து ஒரு லிங்க் ஓபன் ஆகி வேஸ்ட். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஒரு செயின் இருக்கு, இரும்பு சங்கிலி இருக்கு, இரும்பு சங்கிலி, அதுல நிறைய இரும்பு வளையம் இருக்கிறது. ஒரு வளையம் மட்டும் இரும்பு இல்ல, வெறும் கயத்துல கட்டி வச்சிருக்கலாம். இப்ப சங்கிலி பயன்படுமா? அதனுடைய எஃபெக்ட் இருக்குமா? இல்லாத போயிடும். அதனால all of us, the teachers, the chain is, I think somebody has written it correctly, the chain is as strong as its links are there. அது மாதிரி இந்த லாங் செயின், இதுல ஒரு பக்கம் டீச்சர்ஸ், ஒரு பக்கம் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், ஒரு பக்கம் டெக்னிக்கல் சப்போர்ட், இன்னொரு பக்கம் feasibility, இது எல்லாமே ஆன்லைன் லேர்னிங்ல இருக்கு. இது அத்தனையும் சரியா அமையும் போதுதான் the online learning will be a success. So my final statement and message to you all, my friends, my teaching friends, students from our own country and other countries, please take this message. Don't think that you are a small participant. Don't think I'm a small fellow in a big online stream. No, every link is important. If you give your best, if all of you give your best, the total outcome will be the best. And that is the idea I want to take it. My final slide, please. My final slide. Next slide is a final slide, my thanks slide. And what, as a botanist, and my own students are here, we always love this particular slide, which I always show. A small seedling is there, and the soil alone is not enough. A good soil and the sunlight and water is what is required basically, but that is not alone important. A good support must be there. Good protection is there. In a small tree saplings, you know, in the roads we see the small இரும்பு வளையம் போட்டு வச்சிருப்பாங்க அந்த ட்ரீக்கு போல. It's a small god. A fence is given. A small fence is given for a growing tree. Once it has become a tree, you don't require any fence at all. Even people can come there and stay and enjoy. It becomes very strong. But when it is growing, you require all kind of. Like that, today, our young friends undergoing online learning is like this young sapling. So my teacher friends, we have to help them. அவங்களுக்கு நிறைய விஷயம் தெரியாத மாதிரி ஆன்லைன்ல வர தெரியறதுக்கும் கஷ்டப்படுவாங்க. ஆன்லைன்ல வந்து எப்படி how to use online. So tell them also how to do that. And teachers have to make double entries and double efforts, put in many efforts to see that the students are comfortable in the classroom. I think I have given some of my own very short explanation. I don't think for every slide I have got so much to say, but given the time limit, I want to conclude my lecture stating once again, thanking every one of you. And through the chat, I understand there are so many people are interested in coming back. And I want the teaching faculty, please, whenever you take an online class, get them back. When it is going to be a synchronous classroom, get them back in some mode of understanding and interaction. Ask them to chat, ask them to give a detail, ask them to write about it. So these kind of constant evaluation and constant application will make this new process, which has become a necessity, as I said. இது ஏதோ விளையாட்டுக்கு பண்றது இல்ல, இது நிச்சயமா ஒவ்வொருவரும் நாம் எண்ணி பார்க்க வேண்டியது. ஆகவே இந்த முக்கியமான இந்த பணியில ஈடுபட்டிருக்கிறோம். எல்லாருக்கும் என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். And again, people from outside, from our own state and outside the country, a very big thanks for you all. Take away from this all the ideas what I have given, and please use it. Take this idea and tell this to everybody whom you are in contact, and exchange these ideas. If you do that, that is a wonderful thanks you can give it to me. Okay? Thank you once and all. Thank you. Thank you. All good. Thank you very much.
And now the session is hand over to the organizing secretary, Dr. Sankaran sir. He will look after the questions from chat box and he will post to the resource person.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, sir, VVS, sir, you have enlightened everyone with your rich experience, sir. Really, you have given a new dimension to online learning.
Thank you.
And to mention a few, the analogy of water and thirst for teaching and learning, and also whatever the visuals you have shown, everyone were replying on that. It was and to questions part, sir, only one or two questions have come, sir. One of the question is from Ananta Padmanabhan. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, what is the question?
Field trip or virtual tour? Which one would you prefer?
Field trip
Or virtual tour?
or virtual tour?
Virtual tour, sir.
Please put this on the chat box.
Virtual tour, sir. VARTUAL tour. Virtual tour.
Okay.
Or field trip.
Virtual tour, sir.
Virtual tour and field trip, sir.
Okay. Now, that is, as I said, there is no preference to this. Virtual tour or field trips, as you say, if it is possible. You see, ultimately, even as I said, there is a blended online courses are available where the entire course is conducted online. Their convocation take place in a place. It's not virtual. Things cannot be all the time virtual. That's I understand. And the field trips, if you are not able to go, we can use virtual. For example, about 10-15 years back, the AR and VR has been implemented mainly because in the zoology lab, in the medical science, the animals and the cadavers are wasted. They have been used on the platform for anatomy classes. So the Blue Cross people objected to this about killing the animals. So what they decided was that they tried to show a model. Yeah, they earlier started with the plastic model and later they went on a virtual application of this. I have seen it in United States also when I visited. There is a virtual human body which you can open and see all the parts inside, and you can do that. I think that's a possibility. Thank you.
And one more question, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
You can chat it, you can write it out so that it's easy.
Okay, sir. I'll just online teaching is not alternate option for all the students in the current scenario.
We do not know when the pandemic is going to become. Is not possible to all students yet. You are right. As I said, the message is clear. I want to give this helping hand for the students those who are not able to use all these latest gadgets. Like unless you have got a mobile, iPad, laptop, I don't think you will be in online, and that is not possible in our country. It's very difficult. Slowly we are starting this. It is just not even in the schools. They are now coming out. I'm wondering, what about the students in the villages? What about the students those are poor, those are in city, but they are still poor? So I think the question is correct. We are not yet ready for full-time online classes for everybody. It's just not possible. Slowly we'll have to go towards that. And this is, for example, if you are developing that it all how it started. We started with correspondence course. You remember? I think many of you know the correspondence course when the university started. We started with the evening classes, and we started with correspondence course. Why? Because many people cannot. They are doing work, and they can't get away from employment because they have to know their salary. They want to have the money. They want to earn, and while earning, they want to study. They went for the correspondence course through postal. It's called the postal fusion, and after that, what happened? That correspondence is the improvement of correspondence course. You have the virtual course now or the online course, but you require the equipments. So till then it's not possible. I think that's very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, and one more thing, based on your lecturing, beautiful lecturing, a person asked a subject question, sir. They want you to explain RNA interference. The next session. and,
I told
and there is one more question, it's a negative part. There are students misusing mobile. There is a question from Bindu. What to be done for that?
your voice is broke. Coming
Sir,
breaking. Chat box. Chat box la podu. Chat box la podu.
Okay, sir. Chat la podra.
Chat la podu. Then so that can you provide me a webinar like this on? Yes, we can. It's possible. And Sankaran, you can put the chat box. Students are misusing the mobile. You see, how to stop it? That's one thing. First of all, you have to why a student is misbehaving with a mobile is he is curious. You have to the only possible according to me. I have instructed people. I have also talked to parent association. The important thing is you have to give consult with them. First of all, you have to have a session with the student. You can't order, let's stop your mobile and don't do that. You see, a session and talk to them and tell them what is wrong about it. Be very frank with them. They are curious. You see, you say that you don't go there, you do that. You don't see, for example, even when there was no mobile, even when people were going here and there, the students used to go out and evening play. And the mother used to say, daily போய் விளையாடிட்டு இருக்காங்க. பசங்க கூட உட்கார்ந்து தெருவோடியில நின்று பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இந்த பசங்க எல்லாமே பண்ணுவாங்க. Even we have done that. Every one of us has done. We always exceed. வீட்டுக்கு 6 மணிக்கு வா அந்த காலத்துல. இப்போ எங்கேயும் வெளில போக முடியாது. We are in the pandemic season. And people used to say, my mother used to say, come back at 6 o'clock. I never used to come back 6 o'clock. I used to come late. So இது எல்லாருக்குமே நடக்கும். But if you sit with the student and explain what is the wrong, don't tell them this is not correct. Tell them why it is not correct. If you do that, be frank with them, then you will be actually succeeding. You have to go beyond that. Okay. Yes, next question, please.
Sir, almost sir. Generally, they have only they are saying your session is excellent, and that's all. There is no questions as such.
Yeah, KSP Sundar, I am your student, Viveka, right? I think number of Viveka students, I am very, very happy. Viveka students are the greatest people who shaped me.
Sir, I'll just tell you some of the students who are there in this, sir. PT Devarajan, Girivasan, Rajagopal, even they have joined in this session, sir. Some of the students.
Very good, very good. I am ever happy about it.
Yes. Sir, I'll just
always remember that Sri Vidya from Vivekananda Education Society. Very good, very good.
There are many teachers from Vivekananda Education Society, sir.
Yeah, yes. Today I saw one of my friends' daughter studying in Vivekananda Junior College in Korattur. She has come first in the school.
Yes,
got
sir.
about 488.
Oh, great, sir.
488. And I immediately wanted to find which is the school. The school is from Vivekananda Education Society. Please tell Sri that I appreciate Vivekananda Education Society is doing very good work. Please tell them. You are from Ambattur, okay? Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, shall I give the vote of thanks, sir?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. And tell from my side, thanks for everyone. And if anybody wants my link, anybody wants my phone number, anybody wants to write to me my email and ask questions, they can do that. Please give them. All this, my mail, my phone number, my link, everything is open. Anybody you can share with. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, I thank my mentor, Guru, supervisor, my doctorate supervisor, Dr. VVS, for accepting our invitation as speaker for this web conference. What I am today is because of his guidance from my college days to till date. I thank our principal, Dr. O.R. Devanathan, for giving us permission to conduct this event. I thank our head and staff members, botany department, support for the conduct of this event. And I thank all the head and staff members from our college and from other colleges all over And I thank IQAC team headed by Dr. Abdul Rahim for his technical support. He is doing a wonderful job for the past 1 or 2 months, conducting all events just like this, sir. I thank all participants and teachers, professors, teachers, students from various parts of the country and also from abroad for making this event a great event. And I thank one and all who made this event a grand success. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
And special thanks to Dr. Abdul Rahim.
Yes, sir. He has done a great job.
And not many people know, my friends, yesterday we had a trial and see whether everything goes all right. So all these people, Chetibabu, Shankaran and Dr. Abdul, they have spent more time to see that these things work out normally. So from my side, Abdul, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rahim, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. The feedback link is active now, and even we have posted the feedback link in the chat box also. So you can submit the feedback and get the e-certificate, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for organizing great ways, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Rahim, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Secretary Shankaran, sir, shall we wind up the
Yes, sir. We can go, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks, sir.
And one more announcement, you can see this video of this particular talk in our YouTube channel. Now it is being relayed live in YouTube, and many people also watching in the YouTube also. Some of the students are they feel that it is easy for them to watch the proceedings in YouTube, so they are now watching side by side in YouTube. Actually, a group of participants in YouTube also. So YouTube, our channel is YouTube Presidency College IQAC. That's all. If you put in the Google search YouTube Presidency College IQAC, you can go there and you can watch these videos. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now video on பண்ணாமலே vote of thanks கொடுத்துட்டேன் சார். Sorry.
இன்னொரு வாட்டி சொல்லிட்டேன்.
நான் சொன்னேன், நான் அனுப்புனேன் உங்களுக்கு ரிக்வெஸ்ட் அனுப்புனேன், ஆன் யுவர் வீடியோ அனுப்புனேன், நீங்க லேட்டர்னு அனுப்பிட்டீங்க.
கவனிக்கல நானு. Sorry, sir.
You say that now with a smile on video.
ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை சார். நான் தனியா சங்கரன் சார் vote of thanks சொல்ல வச்சு ஆட் பண்ணிடுவேன் சார் நான்.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
தனியா சங்கரன் சார் தனியா பேச வச்சு அப்படியே ஆட் பண்ணிடுவேன்.
No problem, sir. Audio was there. Thank you, sir.
ஆடியோ இருந்தது சார்.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Shall I leave meeting?
Oh, yes, sir. You can exit, sir. You can exit, sir.
ஓகே
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
எல்லாரும் எக்ஸிட் பண்ணிடலாம் சார். Thank you, sir.
நான் பண்ணிடுறேன் சார். நான் வந்து இப்போ எல்லாரும் திருப்பி இந்த இதா போட்டுட்டு இருந்தேன். லிங்க் 2-3 டைம் திருப்பி chat boxல போட்டேன். வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்ல சார். க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll leave, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.